do this. Oh, I got a message. I got a message. Okay. I set up the guy who did the MondoCon coffee mugs every year. Trying to coordinate. What's up? What's going on, Brandon? Yo, get it? Quint? Because of Quentin Tarantino? I get what you were doing there. Because I look like the movie director. Hold up, got to see if any good hot tub streams are on. I know. I haven't seen a lot of those in a while. My favorite was always the Rio beach walk ones, where the dude was just walking down the beach with a camera on him, and all the chicks are wearing thongs and their big and chubby asses are just swinging around. Those are some fun. Sometimes I would just put one of those on for like an hour. I'd be like checking email and looking over and just seeing chubby girls walking around. God, that was wonderful. It was my happy place. And then they started shutting all those down. Kind of like on what was it, on Twitch. We do live we do live in we do live in magical times. Twitch, where all the girls, their boobies were front and center, and then they were like, "Yeah, we can't do this anymore." I guess the big thing now on the YouTube, as the kids call it, is that no more AI videos. If your whole, basically, if all of your videos are just AI, then they're going to start banning people, and that includes, apparently, from what I read, there was a ton of AI nudity YouTube videos where just like AI characters are just like getting banged and stuff. Again, magical times. I started watching all the sharks on Netflix but turned it off. It was stupid. They were trying to make it a competition show, which is mega lame for a competition show. Yeah, that does sound lame. I watched a couple of the Shark Fest ones that I had taped. The problem the problem with Shark Week and Shark Fest is gonna be we're gonna see a lot of the same friggin' shows that they've played for the last 50 years. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of it was, oh, here's from last year when this guy was the host. Here's followed by 5 more episodes from when people were the hosts on this thing. I'm like, I've seen all these. Yeah, it was teams of photographers who got points based on the sharks they photographed. Was it like in the game when you were a kid? Remember you're in the car and you play the license plate game? And you're driving. Oh, Connecticut! I just saw Connecticut one. My brother would just cheat all the time. Oh my God, Lithuania! I just saw one from Lithuania. I swear. No, what isn't mega lame? You guys. How's it go, Sean? Oh, he's just a ray of fucking sunshine, dude. How long until Logan Paul fights a great white on pay-per-view? You know what? That's got to be coming, right? It's got to be. It was so bad, I came here today to see Nick Zinn recommend it. Yeah. I should have known everybody else would also try to get in on the shark thing now. And the move seems to be like, let's get all of our shark stuff out before Shark Week comes up. Like, tomorrow night is the Jaws at 51 during Shark Fest. So they're going to do they have like a documentary kind of thing. But of course, they're going to do everything before the 20th when Shark Week begins. Ridiculous. I did the binge of all the Jaws movies last week in the 50-year dog. Yeah. All the Jaws movies, even, I mean, the couple of good ones, right? And then the rest of them. That's got to be due, right? Some idiot somewhere is like, let's reboot Jaws. Now that we got all this AI stuff, let's just reboot. But we're gonna make it completely. It's gonna be a reboot, but we gotta go with the times. So Chief Brody has got to be handicapped or a lesbian or something. And we really can't have people, getting eaten. I mean, that's not good for selling a movie. So we're gonna have right where the kid gets bit. Yep, love the trailer for the fourth one. It literally has the "this time is personal." I remember that. Lame. There's more than one Jaws movies? No, Frank. There isn't. Four. That's ridiculous. The first two, I mean, the first one is phenomenal. Probably one of the greatest movies of all time, if not the greatest movie of all time. Number two, pretty good, but not really. Really, there's only one. If two is all right. Two. Jaws, I'll give it a 5 out of 5 stars. Two, I'll give it like a 4.1 out of 5 stars from memory. Might not even be that good. Once you hit 3D and all that, isn't that the one with like Michael Caine was in it or something? And once you hit that point, it's like, no, this time is personal. What about the first three? Not personal. I love when I was a kid and I was a teenager and every movie was 3D. We gotta hurry up and get to the third movie of everything because we need it to be 3D. There's Tom Duffy. Let's hurry up and do Piranha 3D. There was a third movie in a series. Automatically, it was in 3D. I was like, oh, that's Thunder. It's just some idiot mowing their lawn. Idiots. Yeah, 3D. Piranha 3D. Zombeaver 3D. Buckaroo Banzai 3D. Sure, Spinal Tap will be 3D when they get to the next one. Also, did all the Jurassic Park movies again. Alien is next. Just doing everything with teeth, I guess. As far as nobody has leaned into Skates and Rays for Shark Week. They're leaving money on the table. Well, it's not Skates and Rays Week. But I'm sure if they do, I'm sure the other channel will do it 2 weeks before. I can't believe there's another Jurassic Park movie out. I mean, obviously, I guess they're making money. But it's like, I don't know. Are you really going to screw up that many times? You know what I'm saying? You're going to do this over and over and over again? I don't get it. All right. Just waiting on the coffee mug guy now to see when he can meet. I'm waiting for Seahorse Week because those things fucking kill a lot of people. You don't even know. Sometimes you choke on them. They're almost at Police Academy numbers. How many Police Academy movies are there? About 1,000, right? That was one of those franchises. I think I actually saw the first one like in the movies when I was a kid, and then I was like, "This is dumb," and then I don't think I ever saw any of the other ones. And it just seemed like it was the same thing over and over and over again anyway. Chris Pratt got eaten by a dinosaur in between the last one and this one. Then Scarlet Joe took over. But guess what? She's not enough to carry the film. Right? Which you would think maybe she would be, but if you really look back at her career, she really hasn't carried much of anything in a good way. You know what they say, seahorses are the horses of the sea, which is angry by the way, it's very true. Isn't it lazy? I'm just going to throw this out there. Isn't it just lazy that we name sea creatures after land creatures? Well, think about it. It's a seahorse. I mean, it doesn't have four legs. It doesn't look like a horse. You know, all the sharks. Uh, let's name them after things on the land. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's a tiger shark. Oh, that's a bull shark. Oh, that's a lemon shark. Stop naming them after other animals. It's just dumb, lazy. Brenda says she's carried those sacks of money to the bank. Oh, hell yeah. You know, I listen. I'm not blaming her for doing any of these lame movies. I'm not blaming her for being in the Marvel movies. I mean, she's making a crap ton of money. I get it. You know what I'm saying? She's married to that guy from Saturday Night Live, and that guy probably ain't got any money. Neither does his damn brother, who is the producer for Impractical Jokers, which I saw there's a new season of Impractical Jokers coming up, I think, this week. And I'm like, I would have thought for sure, they would have canceled that show. Unless they just like, we already have these in the can, TBS, let's just throw these out there and let's not even promote it. Let's just let it die a horrible death. She did sweet, sweet Marvel dollars. Oh, yeah. That's a land shark. Exactly. Frank would have called it a BJ. Of course you would have. Q says he's pretty sure this is going to be the last season. I'm pretty sure. Q has been on. What the hell have you been watching? Oh, he's been on the whatever History with Henry Winkler show. He is one of the like guest people that says stuff about things. Like they did a segment on Action Park, and he's like, "Oh my God, that was great. We used to go." I'm like, "Oh, at least they're giving Q other things to do now. At least he's not just going to be tied down with the albatross that is Murr and Joe." Sal's doing his stand up. I'm guessing he's doing all right with that. The History Channel, yeah. When I think of history, I think of the Fonz, right? It's funny those. I love watching those shows, the History Channel shows, because you got Henry Winkler, Danny Trejo, David Duchovny, other people, Leonard, Fish Fishburne guy. Can't think of fucking. I can't think of anything. There's like all of these people, right? Dan Aykroyd, that all host these shows. Dennis Quaid. I'm like, are you just really pulling in like B movie stars and saying, hey, do you want to say stuff? I mean, William Shatner, like, really started it all. You know what I'm saying? It's just funny. Sea cucumber is the laziest rehash. In water universe, does that prolapse slug as look like a cucumber? Exactly. Exactly, Morocco. They'll probably just film all their lines for the entire season in one day too. If you watch the William Shatner one, and again he's 1,000 years old. Um, they either have him in like one suit, he just wears that one suit, or more than likely it's like, okay, here's our 10 or 12 or 22 whatever amount of things. Just sit there and just read. We're just going to go through all of it. Then we're going to put these together, or they're already put together. We just need you to do voiceovers on these. All right, William, Billy. Now we need you to go uh, unexplained. We need you to just say that about, I don't know, 15 to 30 times. So when you're ready, and they just film the whole season with him. Shatner fish. You know what? That would make more sense than jellyfish. Fucking jellyfish. Don't taste like jelly. I've tasted it. Jellyfish does not taste like jelly. It's worse than that. It swims, Jim. See what you did there. Yeah, just a lot of that. Like hammerhead shark, I'll give you that one. It's the coolest looking shark in the world, and his head looks like a hammer. So I'm gonna say, you know what? I got no problem with that one. I've actually ate jellyfish, not bad. I'm never going to hanging out with you at the beach then, especially down at Redneck Beach. All the girls in their little skimpy little bikinis and their fat ass will be like, "Well, that dude's eating a jellyfish." And then one of the other girls was like, "Why do they call it a jellyfish? Hey, buddy, does it taste like jelly?" Like a whole thing going on there. The worst part of eating a jellyfish is getting your friend to piss in your mouth. Or for Tom, that might be the best thing. We don't know. I'd have named hammerhead sharks the fish. Yeah, I mean, either way, hammerhead or that, either way. I had some I had some seafood yesterday when Brandon and I went to lunch. We figured out that we haven't seen each other in like 21 years, which is crazy. We did catch up on a lot of things though. Peanut butter and jellyfish is the bomb, right? You put that on between two slices of breadfish. Fucking delicious. Coney Island whitefish. You listen. You call it whitefish. You know why? Because the fish is white. White-tailed shark. The white tip shark. The tips are white. Okay, that one makes sense to me. What the fuck is a dogfish? You know what I'm saying? What's a cat dog? It's a sharkadile. Yeah, a pelagic thresher is my ass. Named after Jimmy Pelagic. He's the one who discovered the thresher shark. Ooh. It's funny, we were watching something last night. We were watching, I don't know what the hell we were watching. Maybe one of the gang shows, or maybe, I don't know, something. And the guy said, we were watching, it was like a thing about the mob or something. And anyway, they mentioned uh, LaGuardia, the person. My wife said, "Well, there was a person with that dumb name." I said, "Yeah, like pretty much everything. I said, you ever hear of George Washington? They named the bridge after him. Throgsneck? Jimmy Throgsneck? You ever hear of him? I said, pretty much except for George Washington, every mayor has had a bridge or a place named after him in New York. That's how they did shit that back then. You know what I'm saying? That's how they did shit. You know, an airport, JFK. That's named after some guy. A Pelzgic Thrasher got 2 big points on bowling for sharks. Yeah, I'm not just going to watch anything. Pretty much I went through the list of Shark Fest, and I'm like, anything that actually says new and it's 2025, I taped. Which is like all of like 3 shows. But there are multiple, like every night, so there's like a couple dozen. My wife's supposed to work late tonight, and then tomorrow night she goes to her mother's for dinner, and she's usually there late. So I got a couple of nights to watch some shark television without her going. Really, we're watching sharks again. I get it. I get it. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I'm not getting any writing in. I've been here for over 20 minutes. But I did write a chapter this morning, thing me and Tom are working on, which Tom is working on right now. And then I'm definitely going to get another chapter in this afternoon. Yesterday I went and hung out with Brandon at the Japanese buffet. I only had 1 dish of food. We got to talking so much. When I left there, I was like, I only ate 1 dish of food. Oh, hey, speaking of writing, I have news. Sean has news. Well, it's going to have to wait till tomorrow because I'm shutting down the feed. Maybe I'll see everybody next week. I'm going to take the next 3 weeks off. Sorry, Sean. All right, go ahead, throw some new. I finished the first draft of my novella yesterday. Today, editing starts. Nice. I always take a few days away. Once I finish a project, I always take like 2-3 days, and I'm just like, I'm going to work on something else. I'm not even going to think about this thing. I mean, you do what you would. I'm just saying what I do. But congratulations. Attaboy! And then I was supposed to go to the library yesterday, but then I forgot. I came home. I did some writing. There's Nicholas the Zin. Came home. I struggled with writing for all of the day, and about, I don't know, 7:45 last night, I finally finished the chapter that for the thing me and Tom are working on. I was like, sorry, Tom, but I'm not. I get so many other friggin' things to do. I had to do the formatting for Down and Dirty 5 because you got to put it up by the 11th, and it's out the 15th, and I knew I wanted the print version to also drop on the 15th, so I had to have it done by yesterday. Real or Imagine, that was my date. So I finished the ebook version and the print version of that book, put it out, sent out the first book that me and Tom have written in this new trilogy to beta readers to start giving me some feedback, even though we're not going to put it out till like January, February, and March, I don't think. Going back and forth with the guy doing the coffee mugs for MondoCon 2025. Did you crack open the Crazy Eddie book yet? No, I haven't even opened it because I'm reading a nonfiction book about the Long Branch mob. And it is fascinating. Did I tell you that? I didn't tell you that? There's a part I read where one of the mobsters in Long Branch, a guy who's doing a drug or a guns run, something. And it wasn't drugs. They weren't selling drugs in Long Branch. I mean, there were people selling, but not these guys. Anyway, he said, "Is there any good place over here to eat?" And of course, then the mobster says, "Well, you got," and this is like in the 70s, late 70s. Well, you have the Windmill on 36, or you got Max's on the boardwalk, on the pier. And he says, oh, I don't like hot dogs. Is there anywhere I can go and get a salad? Now, this is the late 70s. So the mobster pulls out his gun and shoots the guy right between the eyes because he was so pissed off that he dissed the windmill and Max's, and he thought he was going to come to Long Branch and get a salad. And I thought, you know, that sounds reasonable to me. Mr. Frank is a vote for the windmill. See, here's my thing. When I was a kid growing up, and my Mom and Peepop would come down, we'd go to Long Branch. We would always go to Max's when it was on the boardwalk. Okay? And so we always went there. So I always liked that better. Just by default, we would go there, and then sometimes my parents would take us to the windmill. And then one of the times we were down or we were up for Beers and Fears, my wife and I went, and we're like, oh, Max's. Well, it's not on there's no pier, but they have one that had just opened. I think the year before it was still being built. So we went, and I'm like, what's this fancy bullshit? You're supposed to fucking come in here and just get a dirty, hot. The place is supposed to be filthy. This is all nice. It was expensive. They had all kinds of, you know, yeah, all kinds of shit. I'm like, what? This is not a hot dog place. This is your catering to the rich tourists coming down bullshit. No, thank you. The hot dog was all right, but then we went to the windmill, much better. But to the original one. Now, the one time we went, when we were all as a group, when we did that, remember we did that signing at Monmouth Mall. Afterwards, we went to the windmill because I thought there was a windmill, and that one had closed. And I didn't want to go to the original because Chuck's wife was being an asshole. I remember she's like, let's just go to the original. Let's go to I'm like, you go to the original. I'm going to the other one over here. Just because you keep saying it and saying it. You know, you can go, you live in New Jersey. You can go to any place at any fucking time. I live 1,000 miles away. This is my last day I'm up here. We're literally leaving this parking lot and we're driving home. So shut the fuck up and let me get a hot dog where I want to get a fucking hot dog. Whoa. Danny had to give me yeah, exactly. Peer pressure. We did peer pressure. But anyway, I'm reading this book and it has a lot of yeah. Now she's a true Southerner. Um, a lot of this book has all the places from the 60s, the 70s into the 80s, which is interesting. You know, a lot of Asbury Park stuff and Deal and Seabright, all that. So it's interesting. Very interesting. I haven't got to where they talk about Murphy's Law Club yet. Hopefully they do. Hopefully they say something. There's a lot of shit that used to be on Chelsea Avenue, though, which is funny. A lot of the mobsters. There was the strip club there next to Murphy's Law. I think it was called. I want to say it was back in the day. It was called when I used to go over there to Murphy's Law. It was called Strutters. I'm almost positive it was Strutters. But anyway, there had been a bunch of other strip clubs, all owned by the mafia. Probably in the late 80s when I was going over that area, it was all probably still owned by the mob. Was the haunted house all mobbed up? Yes, because the part owner, the silent partner, and he owned like not only the haunted house but like the hot dog place, not Max's, the other Hot Jimmy's, I think it was, the hot dog place, and the club there, and some other place. He owned like 4 businesses. He was mob. And he lost everything, and basically, everybody always thought, oh, it was a mob thing, like, oh, let's burn for the insurance. But I think he didn't have insurance on everything. And so he got, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm up to. I'm up to, the guy writing the book is from Long Branch, so he kind of jumps around story to story, trying to put things together and stuff. The best part about the whole book is the main mobster that he talks about is Russo. Last name is Russo. but his nickname, Little Pussy. And his brother John Russo is Big Pussy. I'm like, you imagine you go through life and that's your mob nickname, you know? Like one guy's like Larry the Killer. That's much better than John Big Pussy Russo. Just seems odd. And then I'm like 12 years old, so I laugh. Pretty much at one point, most of Long Branch, all the way into Asbury Park, was all mobbed up, and like everything in between, all the big houses in Deal and stuff, all the mobsters owned all those houses. I was surprised at how much of the of Middletown, basically all of Monmouth County, was mobbed up. It was incredible the amount of places that I remembered. I'm only like halfway done with the book, so then I will get into the. I gotta read the rest of the S.A. Cosby book. I like it. I don't love it. You know, I like the characters, but I don't love any of the characters so far, and so that's gonna be a tough one. I gotta finish that one. And I also have the Crazy Eddie one. I got so many good books out there. A mafia hitman is like the mayor of Englishtown now. Nice. Pretty much every mayor in Long Branch since like 1940s has had a mob connection. I don't know now, but I'm saying up until where I'm reading, the haunted house fire was 1987, so I'm just getting into all that stuff now. So far, there was just it was just all mob. They owned the police chief, they owned all the cop, they owned everybody. When I was living in Manhattan, I'd like walking down Mulberry Street and mentally pointing out all the mob guys sitting outside the restaurants. Yeah, I'm sure every restaurant had a the mob owned. Crazy, it's a crazy world we live in. I remember, like I told you, I read one of the when I was a teenager. I read the history of the mob, the five families kind of thing, and Gambino was there was a Rosamilia, like a third cousin to my dad, who was a hitman for Sally Boy. Sally Boy Rosamilia was a hitman who didn't last all that long working for that family. Finally got the Saint of Narrow Street book from the library. I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot. Trying to get that guy, the author, to do an interview for my YouTube thing. I lined up a bunch of interviews though so far. I think 5 or 6. So we'll see what happens. I'll have to do an interview with you as well, Tom, talking about your thriller stuff. But you don't have to come over. Just stay there, and I'll give you the link at some point. Yeah, I don't feel like writing anything else today. Now, Tom, you finished this chapter. I'm going to jump back in and try to knock out another one. Mr. Frank says, as an Italian American family's decades old secret begins to unravel, they will have to bear the consequences and face each other in the sterling southern Brooklyn set tragic opera of the highest caliber from crime fiction luminary William Boyle. I don't know what you're talking about. I thought it was a great book. I thought it was phenomenal. This is a dude who grew up in Brooklyn. And he lives in like Montana or something now. Something really completely like you would not think. Yeah, we should be able to get 2 in each today. That would be perfect. Perfect. Now tomorrow I have lunch and then I have therapy. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. I have those things, so I probably will get in 1 tomorrow unless we knock them out. Ray Ramkness dad wrote Saints of Narrow Street. I don't know who Ray Ramkness is. I don't know if you're just looking random shit up. It's a good book if you're into crime thrillers. It's a great book. Phenomenal. Fucking right? The guy writes everything. I don't know. I'm also trying to write a short story, 2 to 7,000 words, for a cosmic horror anthology. I started a couple days ago. But is it a tragic opera of the highest caliber? I mean, there is no higher caliber. You know what I'm saying? There's no higher caliber. Whatever the highest caliber is, this is it. This is that caliber. I'm not really good with guns, so I don't know if it's like a 22 caliber, maybe more, maybe a 23 or a 24 caliber, maybe like a 29 caliber. Who freaking knows? 220, 221, whatever it takes. Unputdownable. God, I hate that. I'm seeing that in a lot of freaking books now lately. I thought we ended that. I thought we stopped doing that bullshit. Apparently not. Apparently we're doing unputdownable again. It's just fucking annoying. Unfuckable. That would be better. You know what? I would rather have that on my cover. Trying to get in touch with some people that will be at BoucherCon. I've gotten like 3 or 4 of them coming up to do interviews with. Excuse me. Ooh, that was me. I made 4 Monte Cristo sandwiches for lunch today because we got my wife went and got Swiss cheese yesterday. I got some syrup in my hair. So yeah, so I made some Monte Cristos with the rest of the ham and the turkey and Swiss cheese, bread. Then my wife, we got in another order of the bread, and she gets the bread box, bigger than a bread box. That came today, even though the last month's delivery is still all in the freezer. We haven't even eaten any of it, and we still have like 3. Like, picture your freezer on your refrigerator. Everyone, close your eyes. Picture, unless you're driving, then don't. Picture that freezer, and you open it up, and it is just stuffed with frozen breads and various other things. To the point where if you put one more thing into it, the door won't close. That's what we have right now. And I ate a lot. I was eating a lot of those, but it's just we got couple of different ravioli along with it. She got some kind of butter. We got rolls. We got focaccia bread, some fermented something or other bread, sourdough bread, monkfish bread. That's the other thing. Why are we naming breads after sea animals? Maybe we're not doing that. I don't know. All I know is I'm gonna fucking roll. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna roll now. I want to remind everybody to subscribe or resubscribe, and also follow me on YouTube. Follow me on there. I did a review yesterday of that Matt Wilderson book. I have another. I don't know what else I have. I got a couple other things I still got to shoot video for. Mr. Monkfish. Yeah, Mr. Monkfish. Get you some butter, you're on a roll. Get it? It's some special, like, cooking butter or some shit she bought. I don't know. But basically, I said to her, hey, we got more bread in and we need to eat this stuff because next month when you get another thing of bread, there's no room for it. Literally, right now, all 3 freezers in this house are filled. And luckily, I ate a giant pizza yesterday, or there would be no room in the deep freezer, the deep freeze. So I was like, listen, I know you're working late tonight. I know tomorrow's Thursday, so you're gonna be at your mom's till late. And but Friday and Saturday, we got to eat something with. We got to make something with bread. You know what I'm saying? We got hot dogs. We got sausages. You can make a friggin' sausage sandwich if we want. Sky's the friggin' limit. We got to eat some of this friggin' some of this bread. It's ridiculous. My favorite part of when we get this box in, it's a pretty nice sized box, is they do the dry ice packs. And so I immediately take those and I put those in the sink and immediately turn the water on full blast. And then it just fogs up the whole house. Then the cats are like, "What the fuck's going on? You think you'd be used to this? We've been doing this for like a year." And then I make pretend I'm on stage, and then I'll just start singing some Black Sabbath songs because you know you got to sing them this week. You got to sing Paranoid. You know what I'm saying? And I just stand up on the counter with my microphone slash fork, and I just sing while the dry ice is just rising about me. It's really fun. Sausage, yeah, sausage. You have the nicest box. You are too kind. You are just too kind. All right. Let's see how far Tom's gotten. No pressure, Tom. No pressure. Tom's getting there. Tom's getting there. Cooking with Armand needs to be a YouTube thing, right? So I only know how to make certain meals. That would be fun. If I was one of those smart people and I have like, oh, I'm gonna have 14 different YouTubes. You know, I'm gonna have my cooking one, and I'm gonna have my coffee one, and I'm gonna have my review one, and I'm gonna have my writing one. Like that would make sense. I saw a video yesterday. Somebody, because now we're talking about YouTube is basically unmonetizing and then getting rid of the ones that only are just AI. Like you need to be in the videos, is what they're saying. Like you need to be a normal person and not an AI generated avatar. And some person has like 121 YouTube channels, all of them monetized, and they're all just AI, and it's all just very specific, like a cook. Oh, we're gonna do cooking meals. Oh, this is one that we're making desserts. This is one where I'm reviewing, you know, whatever, various different this and that, and this is me on supposedly on trips all over the world, on and on and on. I'm like, holy shit! It's still a lot of work, even if you're using AI. But that dude has the crazy part is he has at least 1,000 subscribers in each of those, and he's making money. If I could have a YouTube about a Gen Xer who bitches and moans about the world and most younger people and figure out how to monetize that, I'd be rich. Yeah, you should be doing that because we should be bitching about things. It's getting a little dark here. Probably gonna rain. Hopefully it rains. I like rain. Gives me an excuse not to do anything. I still gotta do my top 5 coffee um, video too. Maybe I'll do that this afternoon. Oh, Brandon made me a pen. See in the back. See the pen bag? And he made me this. Look at this pen. I don't know if you can even see it. I'll turn that light on. I'll move this so I can. Isn't that nice? Isn't that a nice pen? Look, it's got the skull on the top. Nice pen, right? There you go. And in 21 years, when I see Brandon again, hopefully he'll make me another pen. Uh-oh, I hear it. I hear the thunder. It's very heavy, too. It's a very heavy pen. I showed my wife it this morning. She's like, that's very heavy. I was all right. risk life and limb for that. Well, thank you, Brent. I'm glad you did the ultimate sacrifice. A pen for me, exactly. I was like, lady, you ain't touching this pen. Your hand'll fall off. This is a freaking manly pen. Sean says it's raining here, not man, but still rain. I mean, not as good. You know, you would hope it would be raining men. Very cool pen. My favorite part of yesterday was me and Brandon, and he said, I said, oh, whatever. We just start talking. Oh, what's changed? And he says, oh, I'm married now. And I said, what's his name? And he married to a female. The pen for men is the one that you turn upside down and the girl's bikini top falls off. Yes. My uncle Armand had about, I don't know, 20 different ones like that. He had like it was just like a whole box of them. And me and my brother, at like, 8 and 9 years old, we would just be playing. My mother would be like, stop playing with those pens. Okay, I remember another kid, yeah. I wonder if they still have those. Oh, that's thunder. Mama! Yeah, it's starting to rain now. Ugh. I took one to school and had it taken away. I'm sure that teacher was like, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate this new pen. Ooh. If a day went by here without any thunder, I'd be concerned. Yeah, that is true too. Yeah, we are in the throes of summer. So for the rest of July and into August, we're gonna get we either gonna get rain or we definitely get the lightning and thunder though. The heat lightning, a lot of heat lightning because it's over 90 degrees every freaking day. I was gonna go to the library today, but I'm like, I'll wait till tomorrow. I'll wait till tomorrow when it's raining. Instead of today when it's raining. It's good reading in the afternoon weather, though. I'm actually gonna write a couple lines. Thunder is just God's way of saying you should be working on your book. Exactly. Thunder is the angels bowling. Don't you know anything? What if you're an angel and you don't like bowling? What if bowling isn't your thing? What if before you became an angel you hurt your shoulder really bad and you're like, I don't want to re-injure my shoulder. I just had Tommy John surgery. And you're probably up there with angels who grew up bowling, like bowling pros. Jimmy Bowling, the guy who invented bowling, might be up there right now. All wounds heal if you go to heaven. You don't know that. You're just guessing, Sean. I've been there. Guess what? My shoulder hurt worse than it ever has. Just because you go to heaven, do you suddenly like bowling? Ooh, I just saw lightning. That's a good. That's a good lightning thunder combination right there overhead. How many angels can bowl on the head of a pin? What are we now? We're gonna do. Now we're gonna do bad religion lyrics. That was loud, right? That was so loud. Tom, 15 miles away, heard that one. Probably hit Tom. Probably just that one. Just it was 15 miles away, I believe, in the direction that Tom lives. So then Tom just probably got hit. I hope he finishes the chapter before he has to go to the hospital, though. This shit is like right overhead. Like that. I just saw lightning. That shit was close. That's just gonna hit my mailbox and set fire to my thrift books order. Tom is safe in his writing bunker attic. That is true. Tom's the second level though. He is closer to the lightning and the thunder though. You know, there are no basements in Florida. Yeah, it's raining. It's raining now. Mama, I've written like I don't know, maybe 75 words in this hour. But you know, we've been talking. We've been having a good talk. Solid conversation. Tomorrow I will not be on. Now there's a slight chance tomorrow night that I will do YouTube Live. I'm not going to say I'm going to because I always say it and then I never do it. I'm just lazy. Florida has basements. They're just called indoor pools. Yeah, that is true. You probably shouldn't be in the water though when there's lightning and thunder. Just saying. Here's my old man. Well, you know, we need the rain. It's good. I'm actually glad it's raining today because the lawn got mowed yesterday. They came out. Oh no, they came out Tuesday. They came out Tuesday and mowed. But I think it rained yesterday too. So we're all good. We're good. We're good. This morning, I don't know if you saw my coffee today. I had a pumpkin pie coffee. I'm like, you know what? At this point, I'm never gonna drink pumpkin anything ever again. Pumpkin pie flavored coffee, and I've had like I don't know 5 or 6 of them in the last few months. Like enough already. I'm gonna make sure any new groupings of coffee I buy, there's no pumpkin or pumpkin pie flavored because it's gross. I mowed yesterday. Yeah, because you had an anniversary. See what you did there. Good for you, Frank. Good for you. Wish I had a front porch. When we build the dream house in a number of years, X number of years, we want to have a wraparound porch. We're just gonna have a one level of ranch, and we're gonna have a wraparound porch, and then a very big deck on the back. But the front will be uh, some rocking chairs, and then we can sit. And like on a day like this, I can sit out there and read, and and just relax. It'll all be good. All of it. Yeah, this is making me tired. It's also making me pee. I'm wanting to pee because you know the rain. front all business. I always prefer mowing the backyard, but that's just me. But that's usually when I'm by myself. That's usually when I'm mowing solo. So can't really go by any of that. Moção mula. What do I have? What do I have to eat? What is this? I think this is a mint. Look, my wife goes on business trips to these things because then she finds so many. Yeah, it's a mint. I'm gonna have this mint. They're like giving away shitloads of candy and stuff. She always tastes it because she knows I want it. It's an after dinner mint. It's just coming down. It's not one of those soft, chewable mints though. It's one of the break your teeth hard ones. You missed it, Brandon. It's either a mint or an edible. Good luck, man. I know it ain't an edible. No edibles for me. Entertain mints. Can you imagine you go to these conventions and they're giving away edibles? Still got pancake syrup, even though I ate Monte Cristos this morning. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bring the bottle in. I've not eaten this yet. Here's a question for you. There's really only one right answer. Maple syrup. You buy it. You use some of it. You close it up. Do you put it in the pantry or do you put it in the refrigerator? What's your answer? Tell me how your mind works. Okay, so pancake emergency brake. Yeah, if I run out of syrup, I'm like, all right, well, I get one right here. For some reason, when I've got the big breakfast with hotcakes from McDonald's, one of those is just perfect. Mr. Frank says pantry. Sean says pantry. My cold syrup is weird. Exactly. My wife's always like when we first started dating, living together. I'm like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Well, we put in the you don't refrigerate it." She's like, "Yeah, refrigerate after opening." I said, "It doesn't say that on the bottle because you don't do that. It's not going to go bad." Well, I guess eventually it'll go bad. Yeah, I'm up, and that was the other thing. Sean, I'm like, I don't want cold syrup on my hot pancakes. Then it makes my pancakes lukewarm. I don't want that. I want hot cakes. They don't call them lukewarm cakes. Chapter done, Tom. Nice. You know what I'm saying? My parents refrigerated pancake syrup. I thought it was weird even back then. Preach, my brother. Exactly. Yeah, my parents too. My parents, to this day, my mother will put. Well, my mother freezes everything. My mother goes to the store. My parents would go to the store. They would go to like Sam's Club or BJ's or whatever, and they would buy like, I don't know, like $500 worth of random things. Like, well, let's get this 900-pound box of sausage. Oh, let's get. Oh, we can buy a loaf of bread, or we can buy 12 loaves of bread for the two of us. And they would buy the 12 loaves of bread, and they would immediately fill the freezer. And they had, like us, they had a freezer, an extra refrigerator in the garage, and they had the deep freeze. And so those things were friggin' packed, and then like, oh, hot dog buns were on sale, so we bought 90 packs. And then they would immediately freeze all of them. And then 2 days from now, oh, we're going to have hot dogs. So they would take a pack of frozen hot dog buns out, even though they just bought it a couple days ago. They should be fresh, right? You just leave it on the fucking counter. No. And then they would tie it to the bottom of the cabinet. And so you would have like bread hanging to thaw out. And so that at that point, the bread would still be cold when you're putting a warm hot dog, not a lukewarm dog. It's supposed to be a hot dog. So my parents both grew up poor, and then I grew up poor, and then at some point in my life, I said, you know what, I don't want to be poor anymore, and I make enough money, I don't have to live like this. And my parents said, well, we lived through this. This is how you lived in the 60s and the 70s, so we're going to continue to live like we're poor. My father-in-law puts red wine in the fridge. I'm like, what are you doing? My dad would take the bottle out of the fridge and put it into boiling water for 30 seconds. It was a pre-microwave world. That is crazy. Just leave it out of the thing. Syrup was always in the fridge when I was a kid also. Yeah, I mean, our parents, this is why we're all fucked up. Let's be honest. Because of this. Then you put the bags on your feet and went out to play in the snow. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. You saved everything. So like, and I do this. Shelly laughs. She's like, why do you keep saving twist ties? I'm like, I don't know. My parents always saved twist ties. But I'm like, I've never saw them use a twist tie. Because everything came with a twist tie already, but they saved them. Like you'd have a coffee can filled with twist ties. That's the other thing my parents do, is they immediately put coffee, they take it out of the container that it's in, and they pour it into this container they have, this plastic Tupperware looking thing, and they put it in the refrigerator. And I'm like, stop doing that. You're killing the taste of the coffee. You're not supposed to put coffee in the refrigerator. To this day. Twist hands and rubber bands. Yeah, and you know what? I always save the rubber bands, and I save them for so long that when you're like, oh, I need a rubber band. And I open my drawer here, and they're all frail and broken. Because they're just all dried out. Country Crock spread toast. Yeah, they are brittle as fuck. I was never sure what Country Crock was, but it spread well on white bread. There you go. I was like, we were in the store not too long ago, and they had one of those blue cookie trays, and I'm like, oh look, a sewing kit, right? Because that's every grandmother used that as a sewing kit. I always, as a kid, I was always like, there should be cookies in here. Like I'm opening this up expecting, oh, I'm gonna eat some not really that great cookies, but they're still cookies. I'm gonna eat these. No. That was our family's Tupperware. Oh yeah. And it was exciting when my parents could afford the big Country Crock, not just the small one, the bigger one, because you could put a lot of shit in that. In fact, right now, I guarantee you, my dad's been gone for almost 2 years. I guarantee you, in the garage, there's still at least 3 or 4 of those Country Crock, and at least a dozen different coffee cans with various nuts and bolts in them, and nails and everything else. Because that's, I mean, he literally, when he moved here in 2001 from New Jersey, that was one of the trips down, was to bring all of that stuff. He literally filled a crate with coffee cans filled with nails and stuff. Because God forbid you get all the way to Florida, and you're like, holy shit, I need to spend $1 on, a box of nails. I also greased the chassis of my 68 Pinto with it. And you can find a can of buttons, needles, and thread. Oh, yeah. What's in this? Butter? No, it's filled with meat. Yeah, exactly. My mother never labeled any of that stuff. Ever. There was never a, this is going to be meat sauce. This is going to be whatever. She would never label anything. So you would like go into the freezer and you would just start opening shit and be like, what the fuck is this? Like, what's this brown shit? I don't even know what this is. Then my dad, for 1 year, for Christmas, we got him one of those, like, Brother P Touch labeling machines. Like, as a joke. Because he would put a piece of tape on everything and write. And then, man, he used that shit Like we had to get him a refill because everything in the garage was labeled. Nails, uh, 3/4 inch, and then the next one will be like nails, 3/4 inch galvanized. you know. Frank says this is why I snicker when someone intimate. I have privilege. Yes, I had the privilege of wearing ShopRite white bread bags on my hands and feet because my parents were too cheap to buy Wonder or Freezy Freakies. Exactly. Sean says, when I'm cremated, I'm sure my remains will end up in a Bob coffee cup. My family probably has 20 in the back. Well, they're waiting. They're just waiting for you to die. Nothing more satisfying than fixing something by pulling the perfect bolt or nut out of a coffee can that you've been holding onto for a decade. Yeah, but how often does it happen? You know what I mean? That's the crazy part. Because literally, I remember there being times when my dad would spend like an hour going through every single coffee can in the garage, and then being like, "All right, run to the store and buy me. But this is what I want you to. Don't buy me. I need this screw. I only need one screw with the wing nut. But don't buy me one. I need like a dozen. You got to buy me a dozen of these." And then he would. By the time you get home, he has a new coffee can ready to go. I do remember one time uh, we needed some. We were doing something in the yard. We had built like a little platform for the grill, and it was like bobbing, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, wait! And I went in, and we had like a just a block of treated wood that my dad had been saving since like 1918, and I remember I just wedged it in there, perfect, and he was so happy. He was so proud that he had saved it since he was a kid, and he was also so proud that I remembered it was there and we used it. And when we sold that house, we should have taken that damn block with us. You know, the things you regret, the regrets when you look back and you're like, I should have taken that with me. He was fulfilled as a man that day. You ain't shitting. That was like I guarantee he went to work Monday morning and he told all the guys about it. Guarantee. Oh, what'd you do this weekend? Oh, I went shark hunting. Oh, what'd you do this weekend? Skydiving. What'd you do? This piece of wood I've had since I was 13. He explains the whole story, and they're like, "Holy shit, you had a better weekend than all of us." I only caught like 6 great white. Oh, it is raining. It's raining hard. They say it's a hard rain. Tom says, my dad used to come back from the grocery store and proceed to tell all of us how much of a deal he got on everything. Oh, yeah, 100%. You had the same dad I had. My dad got a good deal on the van that he had bought. We would call it the super van. Because all he would do is brag about this fucking van. And tell everybody that this van's worth $85,000 and I got it for $21,000 cash. On and on and on. And I'm like, holy shit, who gives a fuck about your stupid van? My dad would also was a gambler. My dad we grew up in Newark, so everybody Nicky Newark, everybody gambled, and then he would go down to AC, Atlantic City, for those who don't know, and he would always say, "Hey, Dad, you've been gone for 3 days straight. How'd you do?" And he would either say, "Oh, I won big," or "I broke even." And I'm like, wow, I wonder, we're still poor, and Mom is still making, um, like the cheapest meals we can have, but you're breaking even or making money every time. So where's all that money going to? Oh yeah, because you're also losing. Frank says, I still have tons of coffee cans filled with bolts, nuts, screws, washers in my shed from the old Polish man I bought the place from. He didn't take it with him? The guy owned his own roofing company, so it's honestly a ridiculous amount of coffee can hardware. You know what? All that stuff's going to come in handy. One of these days, you're going to be like, hey, honey, I got to go up on the roof and nail some shingles. Well, oh, hold on. She'll be like, let me go out to the shed and get you the 16 cans of nails that are perfect for shingles. That's funny. And that's the bad part when, she had this house built, so there wasn't, we didn't have a stock of anything here. That's a good part about buying somebody else's house. You get all this shit that they don't want, and then someday they would. He would tell you about the scratch off he hit for 50, but not tell you about the other 49 scratch offs that were losers. No, that was always that. It was always that one. Man, I remember sitting in the back seat of my dad's Datsun. It was mustard yellow. This mustard yellow little Datsun. It only had AM radio, and so really we would listen to the news from New York, or they would have the Yankees or the Mets game. That was all you could really tune into. And him and my mother went through this period where they were up at right across from Belford Brewing Company. The Dunkin' there used to be a little mom and pop store called Wasserman's, and they had scratch offs. And man, they would go in and do scratch. Oh, I won 4 more scratch offs. We'd sat there for like an hour in the fucking heat. Car had no air conditioning either. Middle of the summer, listening to the Mets or the Yankees game on that static AM, and they would be taking turns going in and out. And it was just like, whoa, we didn't got anything on this one. I'm gonna go in this time because you're a mush. I'll buy the next set of them. My dad would freak out if he couldn't get his lotto ticket processed in time because, of course, the one day he didn't play, his numbers would be the day they came out. Exactly. And then you know what he would do? He would tell you he would have won. I would be a billionaire now if the fucking lady had just run the numbers in quick enough. Yeah, of course, you have all day to do it, but whatever. Yeah, they were very big on playing lotto and all that stuff. God. My dad would be like, all right, I'm going up to, after work, I'm going to the OTB with my brother, and we're going to go play some horses. Let me put a sawbuck on Captain Nemo in the 5th. Yeah, there was a lot of that. The OTB smells like marbles and tears. Is OTB still a thing? Do they still have OTB? I'm gonna look that shit up right now. Off-track betting. Does OTB still exists? So there are locations hosting off-track betting, but not. Let's see. In December 2010, the New York City OTB closed due to lack of profitability. Wow. Fucking OTB, am I right? God, I remember going to the Greyhound track as a kid and thinking it was such a big deal. Yeah. Yeah, growing up in New Jersey, we didn't have it. We had Monmouth Park. We had the horse racing that I would get to go with my dad, and we would pick up all of the losing tickets off of the ground for some reason. So at the Wawa, I usually go to the ATM is right next to the lottery machine. There's a good move right there. And if I'm taking money out as someone is buying scratch offs, I always say winner every time when my money pops out. Nice. Yeah, it's yeah. Well, we've talked about a lot of fun stuff here today. Actually, went an hour and 15 minutes. I wrote about 75, 78. I wrote 78 words in this hour and 15 minutes. Perfect. Tom, I will get to our next chapter soon. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to go read more of this Long Branch Mob book and take a nap. They think I'm an a-hole. I'm sure they do. They are right, exactly. But hey, thanks for everybody hanging out. Again, if I'm on tomorrow, it will likely be later, like 5 o'clock or something, if I'm going to do YouTube Live, try something different. Otherwise, I will see everybody Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please remind yourself to subscribe or resubscribe, and also to follow me on YouTube. And spread the word. Let all your loser friends know to get up there. Really giving us our money's worth today. I know, right? Like, I'm exhausted. I feel like Springsteen, who just gave you like a 5-hour set at his age. You know what I'm saying? That's how exhausted I am. Later, Brandon. Later, everybody.